to a Good Speech, Part 2.
Four.
Part 4. Our next speaker will be giving a half-hour talk at Michigan Avenue Toastmasters in the London House Hotel on June 12th at 6:15 p.m. To prepare for his talk, he will be practicing 5-minute sections of his talk to fine-tune his comments before presenting to the Toastmasters Club. He will be giving the fourth part of this talk tonight. Please join me in welcoming our next speaker, Tim Wilson.
So far, you've caught the audience attention because you've answered that major question they have is, who's the speech for? Who's the speech for? Use the you, got the audience, bring them in. Great. Then that's the A act. Then the C act, content. Next question is, what's the problem? What's the problem? You're growing the conflict so they know that it's a big problem. So you get their attention, they get the content, you're ready to go, and you ramp that problem up. It's getting bigger, it's a huge, horrible problem. And some speakers just stop there. Remember that happen? Where speakers talks about how bad things are horrible in the world, and they're really bad, it's going to blow up, and Trump's going to blow up the whole world, and everything's going to be awful. And then my time is done here, so I'm going to go away. And you think, wait a minute, I'm all worked up. I'm all ready to go. I want to solve this stupid thing. I want to fix this stupid thing. And I just drop you at the C act, and you never see those speakers again. That tick you off sometimes? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Tina. Yeah, exactly. That's what the T act is all about. Technique. Technique. Because if you can get your audience really worried, really concerned, really build up, afraid, very good, and then you drop the technique on them, answer their major question that comes up after they hear about how bad everything is. And that is, how do I solve the problem? How do I solve the problem? So, on your sheet now, you've got the T act. Let's write down the word technique. Technique. Let's write that down there. Okay. And underneath that, you see the question mark. That is how. How is the magic word there. H-O-W. Underneath how, well, in a little bit, I'm going to get to exactly what that is. So there you are. You've got a technique. But have you ever had a speaker give you a technique, and a big problem, and they drop the technique on you and said, okay, I got it. And right as soon as you pretty much went out that door, it just went right out of your head? Did that happen? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, exactly, kids. It happens. You go out the door, and it's like your mind is here, and you're out the door, and your mind kind of stayed here, and it seemed perfectly memorable. You're sitting in the audience there, but you just can't remember it later. And if you're actually going up there and you're the speaker, and your audience, and you get the technique to your audience, and they can't even remember it, they say, boy, that was a big problem. I think there was some solution to it. Maybe there wasn't. I don't really remember. It was a big problem, and it's unsolved still. Well, that's no good, because your whole job as speaker is to motivate the audience to actually get something done. But it happens a lot. And the problem is your audience can't remember what's going on. So some people do things like they create like the 47 steps to happiness. And you start going through, okay, the step 3 and step 4 and step 5 and 6 and finally, some people just give up. Others just try scribbling madly. You walk out the door, you don't get it. So, but there's a solution to that. A very simple solution. You just need a phrase that stays. A phrase that stays. And that's so important. In fact, write that down here in the T act, underneath the question. Phrase that stays. Because if you have a phrase that stays, it sticks in your audience's mind, hey, you're fine. Audience goes out the door, information goes with them, because it's simple enough, they can carry it with them. It's not huge, like 37 steps. It's simple. You get out the door, they can understand it. You may wonder, Tim, what the heck is a phrase that stays? You're about to ask me that, right? What? Well, here's the thing. Phrase that stays with 10 words or less that stick in your audience's mind. 10 words or less that stick in your audience's mind. That's it. So, for instance, use the you. Use the U. A technique you can remember because it's short, it's simple, it's catchy. Hopefully, grow the conflict. It's what you do for your content. Grow the conflict. You're growing the conflict. Remember that too. Because it's short, it's simple, and hopefully, phrase that stays will be a phrase that stays. Because once you have those phrases, what happens is that phrase acts as an anchor in your audience's mind. They remember the phrase, and they remember, oh yeah, that's right, he was talking about people who were forgetting. I remember, yeah, okay, there's 10 words or less. They remember the phrase, and it reminds them of it, because that's the way the mind works. You remember the phrase, and it gradually brings back other information. But if you give a lot of details and hope people remember the details, that doesn't work. But you give a solid phrase, then the mind starts backfilling in all the details. So it's that simple. If you start giving 10 words or less that stick in your audience's mind, all of a sudden, you have that new confidence, new sense of things. You got that power when you're up there. And again, some people just stop there. Completely done. All right, I got the phrase that stays. I'm out of here. But there is one more act to go. And that's the yes act. The most neglected, but in some ways, the most important. I'll get to it in a little bit.
Thank you, Tim. Phrase that stays.